I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ears, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there none other has ever known. Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to share basically two main things. The first part of the video, I'm going to share with you some of the seeds that I'm starting inside my home in the grow room for my fall and winter garden. You see, I grow 365 days of the year. And I'm not going to show you all the seeds I'm starting, just what I'm starting right now, because I don't want to get overwhelmed with too many seeds going on at the same time. I have a tendency to let that happen. I just start growing too much. And in the second part of the video, I'm going to share with you how I made creamy honey ginger. Okay? All right. Let's get started. Okay, guys, I'm sitting at my desk and I added some warm regular water to these peat pellets. I shared these with you before that I wasn't crazy about peat pellets because the fabric used to be so hard to remove, and I saw somebody using these. I mentioned it before and I ordered them and they turned out pretty good. So I'm just, right now what I'm doing, I'm just opening them up a little bit, pushing back just a little on all of them. And then I'm going to let them absorb as much water as they can. There's still a little water down here. And I'm going to put my seeds, only one. That's something I've done in the past. I put too many seeds in, I think. And I think that might have something to do with the roots getting really entwined around the fabric. But the fabric is very easy to move now. See how easy that is? I think this is going to be fine. I did sow a few things in the spring in these pellets. You want to say hi, Bria? Because Bria walking around, guys, trying to get in the video. And I'm going to use these markers. I'm using everything that I already have and maybe tape it so that I won't, get them mixed up. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the water out of here. Okay, everybody, Bria and I are back.
Hi.
And what she did was she handed me seeds, which made this really fast. I will go into detail in a few minutes, but I just started all of those seeds and I said, wait a minute, I didn't show them how I did it. So the first thing I want to show you is these 4 peat pellets. Now, I used to use them years ago, and the fabric was real hard to remove. And another thing I didn't like about them is the fact that the roots would sometimes come through the fabric, and then when you would remove the fabric, you would break the roots. They are much better now, and the fabric around here that holds the peat moss together is easily removed. Okay, so after I soak these in water, because they come real flat, about, that tall, and then it expands when you soak them in water for a few minutes. So the first thing I do is I just take a pencil or a straw or anything, and I just make a little hole right there, a little indentation. And what I'm going to plant now are these seeds. They're called pepper or Zort Giant. And it's a really big, large pepper. If you've seen my pepper harvest before. I like to grow these, and I also like to grow for a sweet bell pepper, California Wonder, and it comes in red and green and orange. I already took the seeds out of the package right there, and these came from Baker Creek. So all I'm going to do is just pick up a seed, drop it in, and you see it's not too far down, and you want to read the package for how far you should drop the seed down and how big the hole should be, okay? And then I'm just going to take a little of the peat moss, and it's damp, and I'm just going to put it over the top barely. And then I lightly press down to cover them up. Now, these will go into a container like this. And from here on out, I will never put water across the top of the pellet. I will just put some water at the bottom, and it absorbs it, and it'll go all the way up and keep the whole peat pellet moisturized. Very briefly, let me just share with you my system for keeping seeds. I put them in this test tube container. I got it off of Amazon, and I just label what I have. As you can see there, petite marigolds. Here are some dandelion seeds. And what is this? Some red coneflowers. So I have most of the seeds started that I'm going to start, but I have this out. I took it out the freezer. That's where I keep them. I keep everything double wrapped in a big plastic bag, and I freeze my seeds. It's something my grandmother did. You can store your seeds any way you like to, but I want to share that with you. Now, let's go over here and show you what I started right here. I have Detroit red beets, and I have 3 rows of them. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. And then over here, I have early Jersey cabbage, or I think it's called early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. And I did 2 rows of them. And then I'm growing that for the first time. And over here, I'm growing a Chinese cabbage. And I have 2 rows of those as well. Right here, I'm growing collards. The first 2 rows that I have collards later on, I'm going to show you. And then I love 1,000-head kale. And I got those seeds from Baker Creek, and I saved them. And I'm growing 2 rows of 1,000-head kale. And over here at the end, I'm growing giant Japanese red mustards. And I don't know why they call them red, because the mustard greens are actually purple. Over here, I have more collards, 2 more rows. And then I have mustard spinach, and I have 3 rows of those. And I'm also growing Bloomsdale spinach, and I have 3 rows of those. I'm also growing the curly giant mustard greens, 3 rows of those. And right here, I'm growing a red Rosa lettuce, 2 rows. And then I'm trying for the first time rainbow tatsoi, 2 rows. And on that last row, I'm growing a rainbow Swiss chard. And I already have a lot of that already started. Struggling a little bit because we're having a lot of hot weather. 100 degrees, 99 degrees. I think we're going to get a little break next week when I get a lot of stuff done. When I say break, I think it's going to be like 96, 97. So that helps a little bit. Okay. I'm getting ready to make ginger honey. Creamed ginger honey. Right here is my unfiltered honey. And here is ginger that I harvested November 2020. And I froze it, of course. And now I'm getting ready to remove the skin. And then I'm going to cream it with the honey. And this will be refrigerated. Okay? So I'm just taking the skin off that I can, and then I'll peel the rest. So you can see I removed all of the peels. They just slide off, and I chopped up the ginger. If I was using fresh ginger, I would just grate it. So I added some raw unfiltered honey. And that'll let it emulsify and it's turned into cream. Okay, guys, I want you to know that I added more honey. You can do this to your taste. I added 2 cups of ginger and 3 cups of honey. You can do equal portions. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Now I'm going to cream it some more. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to put them on medium heat in a saucepan, and you're going to bring this to a simmer, not a boil, because you don't want to destroy all the nutrients in the raw, unfiltered honey. But just in case it was something on the peels or something, after I rinsed them off, I didn't get it all. Even though I grew the ginger, and I know I grew it organically, we just want to kill off any bacteria. And then you're going to, after this, you let it simmer for 15 minutes. You don't want it to boil because you don't want to scorch that honey. And you want to stir occasionally. And then you're going to pour it into a container and store it in your refrigerator for 2 to 3 months. And remember, guys, I am not a medical doctor. You want to consult your doctor before you start this regimen. You can take a teaspoon every 5 or 6 hours when you have a cold, or you could take a tablespoon and put it in lukewarm water and make you a tea. So I waited until it cooled off a little bit. And remember, I did not boil this. I just simmered it a little bit. It's real liquidy right now, but it's getting thicker. And I just put them in old jars, okay? And I want to remind you that, again, I'm not a doctor, but I grew up in a household where we did a lot of home remedies, okay? And they work. So this is the honey ginger, and I want to share with you and remind you again that I shared with you in a previous video how to make elderberry syrup. This is just the syrup with sugar. Here it is cured or preserved with vodka. And this one has a little bit more vodka, and it has honey and vanilla in these two. No alcohol or honey in this one. And this can last a couple of years. Ball says 18 months for the lids. And over here, this is the a different bottle, but this is the refrigerated elderberry syrup, and it just has elderberry and a little sugar to sweeten for Bria, my little grand angel. And here, I showed you a few weeks ago how to make honey with garlic. This tastes so good on fish, guys. I imagine it would taste good on chicken, but I haven't had any chicken for a while. But I've been putting it on my shrimp, okay? This does not need to be refrigerated, okay? And here is your turmeric. A lot of people call it the beginning or the start of golden milk. You know that turmeric milk, you can even use almond milk, or if you're lactose intolerant like me, I like coconut milk, and you can drink this. Put a tablespoon in it and warm it up. It's golden milk. It will remove inflammation, a lot of other wonderful things. Google turmeric and the health benefits of it. But I use it because I have swelling in my arm from my cancer surgery that I had years ago. Okay, so I don't take any medication for that. I just do the turmeric. It's good for arthritis pain too. And over here, you guys remember this one. Again, it is honey, unfiltered and raw, and it's the hibiscus flower in here. I want you all to know that you can do some things for yourself. You don't have to be on a lot of medication. But always check with your doctor to make sure that none of these home remedies will interfere with any medications that you're taking, as well as if you are allergic. If you know you're allergic to ginger, don't make this. If you're allergic to hibiscus, don't make this. If you tried elderberries and you broke out or something, don't bother it. Don't do the turmeric. Don't do the garlic, okay? If you can't. People have allergic reactions to a lot of things. But, so this concludes the series. I appreciate all of you all for watching my video. You know that I love you, and God loves you too. Grow your own, eat your own. You can make your own medicine. It's not hard. You can do this. Bye, everybody. See you real soon.